The United States has been a global investor for many, many years, and that includes China. The United States is one of the biggest, or U.S. companies are one of the biggest investors in China and have been for over 25 years. Prior to the last 5 or 6 years, there was very little Chinese investment. So it was really a one-way street.
That's going there.
U.S. investment heading to China, very little Chinese investment coming to the United States. But that has changed dramatically in the last 5 or 6 years. In fact, investment from China is growing at the fastest rate of any country in the world, approximately 71% a year, which is pretty amazing rate. And as you rightly point out, China is investing not just in the United States, but globally. Having said that, the United States is really a focal point of Chinese investment. So there's a tremendous interest, and that's a great opportunity for the United States because it can help us in our mix to create, or rather to strengthen our economy and to create more jobs. Currently, 5 million Americans work for subsidiaries of foreign-owned companies, not just Chinese, but companies from all over the world. So foreign investment plays a very important role in our employment makeup. Well, first of all, let me just say Alabama is not new to foreign investment. Pardon me. Alabama has done a good job over the years of attracting foreign investment. So it doesn't surprise me that they saw this opportunity, and in many ways, Alabama is ahead of the curve vis-a-vis other states because they have reached out, and I really have a tremendous respect for Mayor Mike Schmidt, the mayor of Dothan, Alabama, who had the vision and the willingness, because it's not easy to do the work that it takes to get companies to take a look at your community. And Mayor Schmidt, I've been with him in China, and I can tell you he starts about 7 in the morning and goes till about 9:30, 10 at night, goes to bed and gets up and does it again. And this symposium, to some degree, is the fruits of his labor. But I think that Alabama has seen the benefits of attracting foreign investment. It's created a lot of jobs for you. And China is the opportunity right now to get some more companies in here doing some good work that can create jobs both directly and indirectly. I really applaud Alabama for its efforts. The economy is a dynamic thing, and the world economy is even more dynamic. So some things have changed. The labor costs in China at one time were quite different from ours. But every year that differential in labor costs is less and less because labor costs are rising in China. So that differential is different. Two, the Chinese market's a big market. So for some of these companies, they had enough to do just taking care of the domestic market in China. But having accomplished that, if you will, now they want to seek new opportunities. Couple that with the fact that the United States has lower energy costs and getting lower. We have some of the lowest energy costs in the world, certainly a lot cheaper than China. And we have a very important market. So if you can eliminate the transportation costs from China to the United States, your labor costs are not quite as big. They're still a little cheaper in China, but the differential isn't what it is. Reduced energy costs, and one more added advantage. When you set up a foreign subsidiary here and you manufacture products here with American workers, you're eligible to sell those products to other parts of the world that the United States has free trade agreements with. So they can go in duty-free. So not only are you able to service the U.S. market, but this becomes a base to sell to 20 other countries duty-free. So for all those reasons, this is the right time for China to look at the U.S.
That also
opens
the gates for that.
That's right. Now, in some instances, China does have trade agreements, perhaps with some of these companies, but I'm pretty confident it's not as robust as the agreement we have. With some of these countries, tariffs have been eliminated almost 100% in almost every sector. In some areas, about 80% have been eliminated, and the remaining 20% have been reduced, although not eliminated. So I think it does provide a competitive advantage to be set up in the U.S. and selling to these companies, to these countries. Well, I don't think there's much of a challenge in attracting investment these days. The interest that I have seen, both as Undersecretary of Commerce and then as a private business person in the last several months, the interest is there. It's strong. The bigger challenge is beginning to understand each other culturally, because what it takes to be successful in one market doesn't necessarily translate in another market. Now, there may be some things that will transfer over. I think there are some universal principles of business, whether you're trying to do something in Alabama or you're trying to do something in Shanghai. But there are other things that may be a little different. And so making sure that you've put the right team around you and that you get the right advice, whether it be legal advice, whether it be accounting. If you have to develop a piece of property, make sure you have the right land use advisors. Whatever the regulations are that govern your industry. And I think if we can help each other understand that some things are similar, some things are different, and we've got to take some time to learn those differences and surround yourself with the kind of people that can help you be successful. I think that's the biggest obstacle.